Let's
Yes, I'm going to take her as a ranger. Accept. And paladin. Accept. Interesting. Who to take? Ranger, paladin. Accept.
while we have the chance.
He has a burp. Yeah, of course. I mean, we read about it. Nice one. We have a burp now. Abilities. Takedown. Instructs the ranger's animal companion to rush a target, knocking it prone. Yes.
I am ready.
So, sworn enemy. Marks an enemy as the focus of the paladin's righteous fury, granting a damage bonus against the target until combat ends or the target goes down. Wrath of the Five Suns standard. Marks an enemy as the focus of the paladin's righteous fury, granting damage bonus. 5 searing projectiles shoot forth from the paladin's hand towards the focus of their righteous fury. Flames of devotion calls upon the paladins in a fire, causing their equipped weapons to burst into flame as they strike, and adding burn damage to the attack. Lay on hands. Fueled solely by belief, the paladin is able to heal with the touch of their hands, recovering a substantial amount of health for the paladin or an ally within range. Glorious beacon. Bathe yourself in holy light, blinding enemies in the immediate area. Greater lay on hands. Yep. Paladin power pool 5. Okay. Zealous aura. The paladin's intense and pure conviction instills clarity of purpose in them and their allies, increasing their accuracy. Oh, nice. Increasing their stride and disengagement defense, and increasing their armor rating. Nice. Savage attack. Mm-hmm. +5 accuracy from that one, yep. Resistance to intellect afflictions, resistance to perception afflictions. Maya wants to talk to you. Sure.
I know exactly what you're thinking.
Maya folds her arms and clicks her tongue against the roof of her mouth. Say nothing.
You're asking yourself, how did I let the Royal Deadfire Company plant an informant in my crew?
She chuckles to herself, but there's a note of resignation to it.
My superiors might expect me to report in from time to time, but don't read too much into it. You're not the only big thing happening around here. I'm in this for a lot of information, a little diplomacy, and plenty of target practice.
She opens her palms and shrugs. Marisha, right? Marisha is voicing her. Okay. I'm seeking Elphas. I want no part in trading company trauma.
Then I look forward to seeing how long it takes before you find yourself in someone's back pocket. Oh, guess you ought to meet the bird. Ishi is smarter than he looks, but don't expect him to do any tricks.
He nods toward the colorful bird of prey hopping around your ankles.
Ishi, come.
Maya taps her arm with 2 fingers and clicks her tongue again. Ishisa simply claws at the ground and investigates some bugs a few graceful hops away. Click your tongue like Maya. Cocking his head, Ishisa turns to you with a mixture of curiosity and skepticism. Maya smirks and folds her arms.
Takes practice before he'll listen to you properly, but that's a good start. Before we get into deeper waters, I've got a question.
Maya clears her throat into her fist.
You've got a ship and a title. Being captain means more than just wearing a big hat. A lot of tough calls to be made.
I'm figuring it out as I go, but yes.
A crew can be like family. They can also be like a nest of squalling infants. Let's say your galley cook was fixing to organize the rest of the crew into a mutiny. How would you handle it?
I'd kill her, setting example for the rest.
Terror is a kind of loyalty, as my first captain always said. Of course, the only right answer is the one that works in a given time and place. I just wanted to hear yours.
Ever stifled a mutiny yourself, soldier?
Mostly preemptive measures. We try to pull the weeds before they reach the garden. But enough about me. Glad to be aboard, Captain.
Maya takes your arm and gives it a good pump. I had some questions.
I've got some answers.
Maya nods, giving you room to speak freely. You're one of Kana's siblings, aren't you?
Sure am. And I heard that you two spent some time together. Funny how the gods toss things together. Kana came back from the Deerwood with a head full of ideas about Rauatai's expansion. Getting out from under the academics suited him. I never knew he could be so political. More than his sister ever could be. You clearly had some sway on his opinions, more than I ever did. Wish you had told Kana to give up on the poetry. He's got no ear for it.
I did my best to help Kana find the meaning, he thought.
You kept him alive in any case, while he wandered the lands in search of stories.
Maya huffs, shaking her head.
I do with bullets what Kana did with words. Just in case you were wondering, the comparison ends there.
Maya tips her head and studies you to make sure the points came across. Tell me about your family.
Well, my parents came from the Deadfire. I'm getting a taste of my roots.
Maya exhales and glances away.
After they immigrated to Rauatai, their talents caught the Ranganui's eye. He saw them as this spectacle, this achievement of the old country, I guess. So they were honored guests. Not many Huana rose to distinction in Takoa. We were also curiosities. Even as we broke the same bread and tossed back the same wine, the Ranganui's friends always checked under the table to see if I had a tail. Kana thought it was hilarious.
Sounds intolerable.
It was an education in patience. Growing up in the Ranganui's shadow wasn't all bad. We had tutors and advisors at our disposal, and lots of folk from stranger parts than these. I spent my days learning to shoot, while my more academic siblings learned to express themselves. I leave you to judge who spent their time better.
How did you and Ishisa first get acquainted?
I won a shooting competition at the Ranganui's estate. This was a few years before enlisting with the Navy. As a reward, he gave me the freedom of the Royal Eyrie and said I could take my pick of the warbirds.
Maya kneels and strokes under Ishisa's beak.
Stinkfeathers here kicked a rather pretty hawk off my arm so he could have me all to himself. Been inseparable ever since.
Hello, Ishisa. Who's a good bird? The bird cocks his head, his eyes reflecting a mixture of friendly recognition and murderous calculation.
Uh-oh. That's his I'm hungry and you're wasting my time face. Better step back, Captain.
Let's be off. Okay, cool. So, can we talk to the prince? And about this, wait, combat order. Maybe more like this.
Your coming is a favorable omen already.
The prince nods, crosses his arms, a self-satisfied smile on his lips. Say nothing.
Such modesty, I say. You happen by a time when our rivals bicker and tear at each other's throats. Bringing Ngati's chosen on your trek up the mountain.
He nods to Tukeo with approval.
It does not take a priest to see how the gods send us an outsider to dig under the skin of our enemies.
Ruihi chuckles to himself and nods. You never know, I could be a bad omen.
Bad to outsiders, I say. Anyone who can empty this hall of dignitaries is a friend to the Juana. I will not paddle around the island. My sister wants to know if you are as useful as you are disruptive. She trusts me to judge this. You did not come this far to serve the crown, I say. But sailing is an expensive hobby. Loyal service can keep your galley stocked.
Damn it. I could use some extra coin to outfit the Defiant.
Ikera, to patch a hull or stitch a sail is costly when supplies come from distant islands. The city has honest work for those in need, I say, and insists that everyone carry a heavy purse.
What kind of loyal service did you have in mind? Though he had not been paying attention up to this point, Takeo rouses from distraction and blinks at you.
My sister keeps a tight grip on Nekataka, but the filth of it drips down her palm and into the gullet.
He opens his hand for emphasis and wipes it across his shoulder.
Under our noses, I say, do foreigners smuggle contraband and pay the Rapau for their silence. Take this if you need proof.
He tosses you a silver medallion inscribed with Valian honorifics. Say nothing.
An envoy ship sank a day's voyage out of Nekataka. He wore that on his breast. My guards recovered it in a raid of the gullet. This confirms my suspicion. Nekataka has a pirate problem.
Aruihi upper lip curls with distaste.
Smugglers and thieves cluster like rats in Delver's Row, a growth in the bowels of our city. I want someone to peddle the medallion to the black market, earn the trust of these pirates, and learn how supplies come into my city.
His gaze rises to meet yours, cold and calculating. Why do you need a watcher for inspection duty?
It must take keen senses to peer through the veil.
Aruihi thumbs his jaw and nods to himself.
Others will miss the details that stand out to you, I'm thinking.
To what end?
It will depend on what you find, I say.
Aruihi folds his arms and scrutinizes the floor between his feet, deep in thought.
Onikaza leaves this for me to handle. While she worries about the manor, I tidy up the basement.
I'm reserving judgment until I hear more.
Yours is not a face that others will recognize. Let no one learn that you work for the crown. Naturally, you will want to take Ngati's chosen with you.
Aruihi smiles at Takeo and inclines his head.
Me? For what does the lower city need an artist?
You mistake me, I say. I send you because of the missive you delivered to my sister.
He raises his brow as a silent understanding passes between them.
Akira, I did not realize.
Takehu nods slowly and folds his arms. Let's be off. Is anyone going to glue me in?
Better if we discuss it on our way down the mountain.
Takehu turns to Aruihi, who nods in agreement.
Be on your guard in the gullet. I fear the caverns run deeper than even Ngati could guess.
The prince dismisses you with a nod. Okay. Travel to the gullet. All the republics meet with the director at the Valiant Trading Company offices. Brass Empire speak with the Hazanui at the Brass Citadel. Plus dues in good faith. We have a lot to do. Location. Yeah, sort by location, please. So this is what we can do in Negataka, okay. Yeah. I would prefer this sorting, please. Okay.
I've got it.
What mechanism controls this door is unclear. The blade does not budge under your fingers. Well then. Water dances in graceful circles around this coral sculpture.
You see my adorable fish, Captain? I leave you to guess which of them is real.
Makarama, the bouillon beloved of Ngati. Punamu, bird scorned, greatest of explorers. Hemunga Makapu, defender of his people. Let's talk to this Granis Yurga. You meet a tall, brown-haired man dressed in full-blade mail. That might not normally catch your eye, but his mail is unusual. Colored a deep green and emblazoned with the image of a golden tree. And on the pommel of his sword he watches the crowd go by with keen eyes. Relaxed yet fully alert, he narrows his eyes when he spots you.
What do you need of me?
He looks at you warily, as if he is deciding whether you are a snake that might bite.
Well?
Tell me about yourself. He's initially hesitant, unsure of your intent. Eyes narrowed, he sizes you up at the nods. Wait.
I am the son of a disgraced noble family. My father and brothers were executed for treason when I was a boy. Rightfully so, I must add. And my mother, sister, and I were thrown out on the street. All we had to our names was a trunk full of heirlooms. One of them was this suit of armor, which belonged to my eldest brother. Now I endeavor to live up to its promise and redeem my family's honor. That's the long and short of it, really.
Tell me about yourself. Interesting armor you have there.
I suppose it is. Are you familiar with the shield bearers of Saint Elka? We are a paladin order.
Shake your head.
The order began as guards for Elka, a noblewoman emissary of Kulkin, who bartered for peace with the kingdom of Vadir. The Order's founders were forbidden to bring weapons to the meeting, and she was attacked. With only their shields to aid them, they fought off her attackers and brought her to safety. She later died of her wounds, and the shield bearers of Saint Elka were born in her memory.
He clears her throat dramatically.
I am the son of a disgraced noble family. My father and brothers were executed for treason when I was a boy. Rightfully so, I must add. All we had to our names was a trunk full of heirlooms. One of them was this suit of armor. That's the long and short of it, really.
Can you teach me what you've learned as member of the Shield Bearers?
Well, you would need to become a shield bearer yourself to really learn it all. But I suppose I can teach you a thing or two as we stand here. The privilege will run you 3,000 copper, however.
Enhanced survival and athletics. No, I don't think so.
As you like.
Valiant diplomat.
Ado, Watcher. Clearly you are an interesting man to know. You should speak with Governor Alvari in our headquarters down the mountain in Queen's Berth.
Okay. Sure. Before we go upstairs, let's check this other side of the floor. Is there a shrine or something?
I've got it.
The raucous screeching of the birds in their cages is endless. A tipu. The cartographer bites his thumbnail and mutters to himself. The Huana depiction of Helia is almost menacing in its intensity.
Will do.
Though simple in construction, the sink is clean and tidy. Someone has finished off a quick meal here. Okay, upper floor. Okay. I'm going to take a short break here. Be right back. So.
You songwriters need a guild if you hope to learn discipline.
Not so. We speak in the tongue of Ngati and Amira. Your pretty dances may upset the puddle, but we command the wind and sky.
Hey, I have missed our little talks.
Akira.
Quiet gurgling of the fountain is a constant backdrop in the spacious chamber. Barati?
He smells one touched by the great eel, does Barati.
Sizable or more, tilts his head up and looks down his nose at you, flaring his nostrils with hungry interest.
You are a man who sits across a fire with death, Akira.
The Pallid Knight and I are on familiar terms. He nods, clasping his hands with quiet delight.
For glutting mighty Tangaloa and hurling foes into their next life, Barati can offer payment. Coins for feeding hungry gods. Akira?
Not silently.
Rewarding those who appease the great eel. This is Barati's cause. May the beasts of the dreaming lands never know famine.
Barati inclines his head and touches his brow, holding the pose with deep reverence. What bounties do you have available?
Tangaloa rolls a hungry eye toward Dichila, a Valian captain who scouts for luminous Adra in sacred lands.
Barati squeezes his knuckles until they are bone white. I'll take the bounty.
Akira. Tangaloa knew it would be so. Dachila sails her Voyager Alicio around the waters south of Nikitaka. The great eel hungers for her soul.
Aradi touches his brow and inclines his head. Before I go, I had some questions.
Ask, but do not keep the great eel waiting.
No, farewell.
On it.
While Ruihi's collection is impressive, few of the blades are actually sharp. Whatever creature these jaws belonged to was clearly massive. What pages lie strewn between the books hold a strange arrangement of letters, not all in the Huana alphabet. Okay, let's head to the roof. Or just on the other side. Okay.
Will do.
Modes of light dart through the winding streams of water like schools of fish. Beyond the city gates lie vast stretches of farmland, interrupted here and there by encroaching jungle.